In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a single type of book that can earn you up to $4,929 per month for Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, on entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through a niche or a type of book, I guess you could call it, that can earn you up to $5,000 per month from. Okay, and there's one example here that's earning around $4,929 on every single month from one book on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. So this niche is pretty special because it's not just a single keyword. It's actually a niche full of different versions of the keyword that you can make multiple books about and make a series about and really earn a good income from and make a whole book brand about it. So I thought I would feature this niche alone, just single niche. I usually talk about multiple niches or multiple keywords in a single video. I'm just talking about one niche in this video and just kind of feature it so you guys have an idea of what it is, what can go into it, and the opportunities that it has for people like you to get into on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. So without further ado, I'm going to be showing you this on Amazon.com. I'll be showing you the books category and showing you all the different opportunities and why I think this is a great keyword to get into if you're just getting into Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and you're trying to build a brand. So without further ado, let's jump on my computer and I'll walk you through what this niche is and why I think it's so good. Okay, so we're in my computer here now, and as you can see, the niche that I've kind of chosen here is coding. Not just coding alone, but coding for kids. And coding for kids is kind of the overarching niche that this would fall under. And first things first, I'm going to show you how I found this niche, why I think it's profitable, why it has demand, and the different opportunities that it presents. So let's start out with how I found it. All I did, like I always do, I go to Amazon.com, make sure I'm in an incognito mode, and make sure that I have an extension like BookBeam. It's going to show me, it's going to give me an idea for what the demand is and how many competitors there are, the reviews, what I can do with that niche. So what I did, all I did was type in coding, and I checked the suggested results. And you can see coding for kids 8 to 12 is the first result. So that gives us an idea that coding for kids is a very high potential and in demand niche or keyword. You can make a book called Coding for Kids, but there are lots of sub niches that you can get into that fall under the coding for kids umbrella, I guess you could call it. So you can see there's a lot of suggestions down here, but the most popular one that I noticed is coding for kids. So I'm going to click coding for kids in general. And I'm going to make sure that I'm actually under the books category before I do that. So let's type it in again, and you'll see that most of the same things are going to pop up. So coding for kids is down here. It's also right here as the first recommended option. So let's click it again. So I'm in the books category on Amazon. Again, make sure you're in books, not just all, because all is all products. We're just doing books here. We're focusing on books. So that's what I usually search. And you can see the first thing I'm gonna look at is the results. So there's 3,000 results when I type in coding for kids. And when it comes to results, 3,000 is a good, healthy number. Anything that's usually above 5,000 or 6,000 results typically means that there's probably too much competition for you to get in there and start ranking on the first or second page. And that's really the goal with our books. If we can get books ranking on the first or second page, then we can get those organic sales on top of just our Amazon ad sales and really blow this thing up. So right off the bat, you see it has 3,000 results. That's pretty good. And then we'll see BookBeam up here. I can either click it or I can look right here, but I'm going to click it because I got to remove some outliers to give us a more accurate number. So the main number we're looking at is the average BSR. You can see right here, it also shows the competitors. So you can either look here or in BookBeam, it shows 3,000 for coding for kids. So you also see it says 276,000. So what I usually say is 150K is a good, healthy number or lower for your book, for your keyword or your niche to have. And what this number means is that the lower it is, the more in demand your book is. So for an example, number 1 on the Kindle store is the number 1 book selling book on Amazon. So you'll see the average BSR takes in the first 16 books on the first page, and it gives you an average BSR of them all. So you can see book number 1 here has a 10,000 BSR, 2 is 26,000, 67,000, 217,000. So it takes an average all 16 of those books, and it gives me that 276,000. So the demand is there. It's not like 500,000 or above. It's not super in demand, like high in demand, which is 150 or less, but it is looking very healthy. And if I remove some of these outliers, like you see, most of them are under 100K here. So if I remove this one, that's like 500K, and this other one right here, that's 500K. you're gonna notice it drops quite a bit to 240 instead of 276. So that's already very good. And you see there's one with 1 million up here, so I can remove it. It's gonna do a lot, but the main ones that we're looking at here, you wanna look at that average BSR. It gives you a good idea at first glance, but you wanna see that the main competitors here are around the 10,000 to 50,000 mark. 38,000, 67,000, 26,000, 10,000. That's our goal to get at. And if you can get your book at that number, then you're gonna be getting a lot of sales. Okay, you're making lots of money. Those are healthy BSRs. And you can see these ones are usually priced pretty decently, $10 or above. So it's not too bad. See, the average price is $13.36. The one thing that I saw about this niche that I really liked is that the average amount of reviews is pretty low. There's not a whole lot of authority figures, as I like to call them, in the niche that are just dominating and taking all of the sales. When that's the case, you'll see a bunch of books that are over 1,000 reviews on the first page. So for example, if I scroll down here, the first one does have it, which is fine. It's only one. Usually if there's like 5 to 10 of those books with over 1,000 reviews, that's when you want to take a step back and think, maybe this is a little bit too saturated for me to get into and take advantage of. Because even if these numbers work, the average BSR and the number of competitors, if there's a bunch of books with thousands of reviews, it's gonna be very hard to get in there and compete. So you can see as I scroll down, this one's under 1,000, under 100. I think there's another one here that has 1,000 somewhere. This one, okay. This doesn't even rank for this though. This is inspired on my interest. So this is personalizing things. It's not even part of this page. 200, 22, 320, 81, 200. So these are pretty low, okay? And I know that a lot of you are probably gonna be like, whoa, 100 reviews is very hard to get. It is very difficult to get, but think about getting 1,000 reviews. And over time, once your book gets to around 30 to 50, the organic reviews really start to roll in. I know this from experience. A bunch of my books that get to like 30 or 50 reviews, it's really easy to get to 100 reviews once you're there, okay? So looking at this, it wouldn't be very hard to get 50 to 100 reviews for this particular niche and really start to dominate the niche and start getting sales. And once you do that, if you have a high quality book, things just compound and you get a lot of sales and you make a lot of money. So to back up my statement from the title of this video and what I said in the beginning, the $5,000 per month, you can see that the top books up here are making around 18 to 22 sales per day, okay? And it doesn't take into account some of them. It doesn't get the numbers for whatever reason. But you can see it gives you an estimated royalty, okay? And this one is at 10,000 BSR. So it's not even below 10K, which is possible. And I've had that with a number of my books. 10K to 20K is not very difficult to achieve if you have a high quality book with a niche that's in demand. And you can see this one is getting around 18 to 22 sales per day, making $150 to $184. So if we go to the calculator on Google, or not Google, we'll look up the calculator. Calculator. I can't open it on my laptop anymore because of the new update. But if I go 160 just to average things out, because we did see from here, it was around 150 to 184 per day that it's making in royalties. 160 times 31, just a month worth. We get around 4,960. So that's a pretty healthy number. And that's just below $5,000 per month in royalties. That's not sales, that's royalties. That's what the author is taking home. That's a pretty good niche. And this keyword is very healthy. I see a ton of potential with it, and I'll give you some examples why I think that is. And the reason why I think it's more of a niche than a keyword is because of this. So you can see there's lots of books that have coding for kids, and this one's about Python. Okay, and that's a type of code. Okay, and you can see this one is coding for kids in Scratch. Different type of thing to do with code. Coding concepts for kids. Learn to code without a computer. So it's a different type of book you can make. And what I'm getting at here is that there's tons of different sub niches you can make different types of books about. So you're never really going to get saturated in yourself. You can't just make one book and then move on with this. You can make multiple books and make multiple streams of income from this one single niche and make a brand about it. So that's why I think it's so powerful, and it's one that has tons of potential if you're looking into this and you're interested in this kind of thing. So you can see there's other ones that are like coding for gaming, I think I saw here earlier. Scratch programming for beginners, coding for Minecrafters. Okay, this book is doing very good. It's under 100K BSR, so it's still making sales. So maybe that's another sub niche you can look into and get and generate royalties from. Coding games in Python. I know there's tons of other types of coding. Python's kind of the most popular one on here, as you can see. But if I press the space bar, you can see there's other sub niches. There's Ages, there's Python, Scratch, like I said already. Coding for gaming, coding for programming. Tons of stuff. Coding for beginners, coding theory, coding notebook. You get the idea. Coding theory, algorithms, architect. That's a book, I think, because that's the title. But you get the idea of what I'm getting at here. There's tons of different sub niches that you can make books about, sub keywords, I guess you could call them. You can make books about for this niche. So I think it's very powerful. You can make that series, build that brand, make that email list, and have a whole ecosystem to build this one niche around and really generate sales. Because once you release one book, the first book gets lots of sales. I'd make it more general, probably just coding for kids or for beginners, and get all of that traffic into that book, and then expand on that single book by making different sub niches like I was talking about, coding for kids for Python, coding for gaming coding, whatever it may be. You can make all these types of things and promote them through that email list that you build off of that first book. So I think this is a solid niche for you to get into if you're interested in learning more about coding and teaching kids how to do it. It's a very interesting niche in my opinion, and it has lots of potential for the future. So definitely check this one out if you're interested in getting in a potentially highly profitable niche for publishing books on KDP. And one last thing before I let you guys go off of this video, I wanted to show you my free, 100% free publishing mastermind group. It's called KDP and ACX Self-Publishing Secrets. It is over 3,000 members in it now. You can see it has 3,800 members in it now. It's the first link in the video description down below. If you join it, you get my free, 100% free publishing guide. It's a 5-step guide to get started with self-publishing. So if you're brand new, this is the perfect guide for you to get into and get started with the business model. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, if you liked it, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a like on the video for the algorithm. If you guys enjoyed it, I post a video every single week about self-publishing, lifestyle, and just entrepreneurship. So again, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Peace.